afternoon. Here are the answers to the multiply 3 digits by 1 digit worksheet. So today I am going to start by looking at question 3, showing you how to answer that one, and then I am going to jump to question 5 and answer all the questions from there onwards. I think question 4 you'll be able to do independently. Okay, so looking at question 3, we have the multiplication here, which is 215 times 5, and we also have the same multiplication here using place value counters. So I'm going to go straight over to the written method because that is what you've been practicing all week. Okay, so we're going to start with 5 times 3, always start in our 1 column. 5 times 3 is 15. So I'm going to exchange 10 of those ones for a 10 and put that directly in my tens column, and I'm going to put the other 5 in my ones column. Okay, so I've now got 1 multiplied by 3, which is 3, but I've also got this 10. So I've got 3 tens add 1 10, which is 4 tens. Now looking at my last column, I'm going to multiply my 200s by 3, which means I have got 600. And my answer is 645. So like I said, I am going to go past question 4 and all the way to question 5 because I think you can have a go at those questions by yourselves, and the answers are all on your sheets. Right, let's look at question 5. So a lorry driver travels 156 kilometers per day. How many kilometers will the lorry driver have travelled after 3 days? Well, that's quite a simple calculation. We've got 156 kilometers per day multiplied by 3 because he's doing the same for 3 days. So there's my written method. So 6 times 3 is 18. I'll exchange 10 of those 18 ones for a 10 and put it directly under my tens column, and I'll put the other 8 in my ones column. Now I'm going to multiply my tens. So 5 times 3 is 15, but I've also got this 10, so I have got 16 tens. So this time I'm going to put 6 tens here, but I'm going to change 10 tens for 100 and put it directly in my hundredth column. Now I'm going to multiply my hundreds. I've got 1 times 3, which is 3, add the 1, which is 4. So my answer is 468 kilometers. Don't forget the unit. Right, let's move on. Okay, so we have Ron and Teddy, and they're both trying to work out this calculation here, which is 5 times 245. So the very first thing they're doing to work out their calculation is an estimation. So Ron says, I know the answer will be greater than 1,000 because I know that 5 times 200 is 1,000. Now we've got to work out if he's right. So let's have a look at what he's done. Well, what he has actually done is he has rounded down 245 to the nearest 100, which is 200. He knows that 5 times 200 equals 1,000. So therefore, 5 times 245 is going to be more than 1,000. So yes, Ron is correct. Let's now have a look at Teddy. So he knows that the answer should end in 5 because he knows that 5 times 5 is 25. Right, I'm just going to show you this by writing it out as a written method. So if I had 245 and I multiplied that by 5, when I multiply my 5 ones, if I multiply my 5 ones by 5, I am going to get 25. So we know that whatever happens, this digit here in the ones column is going to be a 5. So yes, he is correct too. So the answer is both. Right, if we now move on, let's actually have a go at working it out. So 245 multiplied by 5. Here we go. 5 times 5 is 25. So I've got 25 ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep 5 ones in my ones column, and I'm going to exchange 20 for 2 10s and put those 2 10s directly in my tens column. Remember, we've got ones, tens, and hundreds. Okay, I'm now going to multiply my tens, and I have 4 times 5, which is 20 tens, add 2 tens, which is 22 tens. 2 tens can stay in the tens column, and I am going to change 20 tens for 200s. I've now got 2 times 5, which is 10, and I've actually got 12 tens, 12 hundreds altogether. So I'm going to put 200s there, and I'm going to change 10 of my hundreds for 1,000 to put it in the thousands column, and then I am going to put my thousands answer up here. So I have 1,225. Hopefully you got that one right, and we'll move on to number 7. There are 7 year groups in a school, and there are 112 children in each year group. How many children are there in the whole school? So I'm going to start with the largest number on the top, 112, and I'm going to multiply that by 7. 2 times 7 is 14, so 4 can go in the ones column. I'm going to exchange 10 of my ones for a 1 and put that in my tens column. 1 times 7 is 7, add the 1 is 8, so I have 8 tens, and 1 times 7 is 7. So my answer to that question is 784. Right, now, number 8 is a bit more long-winded, so let's go through this one slowly. It is actually what I would call a 3-step problem. So for each step, I'm going to use a different colour. Are you ready? Let's start with step 1. We've got a banana that weighs 140 grams and a pineapple that weighs 340. Bag A contains 8 bananas and bag B contains 3 pineapples. Which bag weighs more and by how much? Well, there is absolutely no way I can answer this part of the question unless I work out how much bag A costs and how much bag B weighs. So let's start with bag A. Bag A weighs 140 grams times 8. Okay, so I'm going to work out that calculation here, and this is what I would call step 1. So 0 times 8 is 0. 4 times 8 is 32. So 2 of my tens go in my tens columns. The other 30 tens get exchanged for 300. 1 times 8 is 8. Add my other 3, which is 11. So I've got 100 can go there, and then the other 10 hundreds gets exchanged for 1,000. And now I've got nothing left, so that must be 1,120 kilograms for that bag. Okay, I'm going to change my pen colour. Let's do step 2. So for step 2, we are going to work out how much the pineapples weigh. So we have 345, and we are going to multiply that by 3. So 345 multiplied by 3. Well, 5 times 3 is 15. So we've got 5 ones there, and 10 ones gets exchanged for a 10. 4 times 3 is 12. Add my 1 that I've got here, which is 13. So I'm going to put 3 tens in the tens column, and I'm going to exchange 10 of my tens for 100. And I've got 3 times 3, which is 9. So I've got 900, add 100, I've got 1000, which I'm going to write there. So I've got 1035. Okay, now let's just go back to our question and see if I've answered it. Which bag weighs more and by how much? I haven't answered it yet. I know how much A weighs, I know how much B weighs. I need to work out which one weighs more. So we know that bag A weighs more just by looking at the numbers, but we don't know by how much. So that is going to be step 3. We'll go purple for step 3. So we now need to work out the difference between the 2 bags. So we've got 1,120 120, subtract 1035. Here goes. A little bit of a refresher on your column subtraction. So 0 take away 5. Do I need to exchange? Yes, I do, because I can't take 5 away from nothing. So I'm going to go to my tens column. I am going to change one of my tens for 10 ones, which means I've only got 1 10 left. Now let's go back to the ones. 10 take away 5 is 5. Right, over to the tens column. 1 take away 3. Do I need to exchange? Yes, I do, because 1, you cannot take 3 away from 1, as I would say, it is not top heavy. So what we need to do is we need to go to our hundreds column. We need to change one of our hundreds for 10 tens, which means I've now got no hundreds left, but I have got 11 tens. So 11 tens take away 3 tens is 8 tens. Now over to our 100 column, 0 take away 0, easy, 0. Thousands, 1 take away 1, easy, 0. So our answer is 85. So bag A weighs 85 grams more than bag B. Phew, that was a tricky one. Okay, so I hope you have managed to get some of those or even all of those right. Basically, it's a skill. So we are moving on to dividing next week. If you'd like, just spend some time over this weekend or a bit later today practicing how to multiply 2 digits by 1 digit or 3 digits by 1 digit using the A written method. All right, bye. Have a nice weekend.